Hi, Catherine Turocy here with the New York Baroque Dance Company celebrating Menopause Day. Let's take a look at concepts from Da Vinci's Vitruvian Man, but instead we're going to call it the Vitruvian Woman and work through a short exercise just to get you ready for the day. All right, go ahead and take the X position. The idea here is that you have a circle that's going around your body, and this circle defines your space. The circle is the symbol for the spiritual world, and the center of the circle would be your navel. So feel that your power is going out from the navel through your limbs like spokes of a wheel. See if you can feel that strength of standing on the floor, drawing the energy from the earth, and that there's energy going out through the fingertips, out through space, out through the heavens. And go ahead and just draw a circle around your body. So you're going like this, and around, and up, defining the spiritual world. Other side. And notice how strong your legs are in keeping this position. And this circle can also be expanded into a sphere in the third dimension. So all the space that you can touch while you're standing like this, that is your bubble, or that is your sphere that you take with you. See if you can touch all the space. All right, and the human being, the Vitruvian woman, also is part of the material world, and the material world is defined by the square. So stand here with your arms out, shoulder length, and just feel the weight of gravity on the arms and how you're resisting that. And just go ahead and bend the knees and come up and rise and lower. The square represents the material world, and the center of the material world would be the genitals. So let's just get the material world animated here. So you're going to do a few circles with the hips, and other way. Good. And imagine that your pelvis is like a basin, and you're going to scoop up the water and then let it flow out. And just scoop up and flow out, scoop it up and flow out, scoop it up and flow out. Da Vinci talks about our bodies being a microcosm of the macrocosm. Go ahead and just squeeze your muscles, wake them up. You're waking up the flesh. And he talks about the flesh on the bones as being akin or like the dirt that's on the earth resting on rocks. Go ahead and just go down the thighs and also the calves. So when you feel your bones through this, the bones are like the rocks of the earth. Okay, so you're just waking up your outer body. Very good. All right, and go ahead and just press the chest. You're going to wake up the heart space. And Da Vinci also talks about the water, and that the water is like the blood that flows through our veins. And he talks about the water as being sort of affected by the moon. You have the tides. So for instance, if you're at the sea and there's a river, the tide will bring the water in and it goes up the river, and then when the tide changes, it goes down the river. So I just want you to think about that water as being like your blood. And you're just going to curve over and imagine the water or the blood going up the river, so it's going to be going up through the toes, through the ankles. So you'll be bent, and then you're going to go ahead and straighten those limbs as the water comes up and fills it. And when it goes out, it's going to go out the top of your head, continuing up the river. And then you're going to feel the tide changing, so that the water's going to be flowing out of your feet. And as that happens, you have a sort of collapse of the form. So go ahead and bend over and feel that the water's coming up through the body as you unfold, going out through the head. And just feel you're being drained. And again, up, all the way up through the head. And you're going to feel drained. And the next time you come up, you're going to come up in a spiral. So like a fern in the spring, when it comes up, it just doesn't go straight out of the ground, but it goes on a spiral. And again, just push and feel that spiral is going out through the head and down once again. The spiral is essential to life. If you look at the DNA helix, it's on a spiral. And come up. And just going into our material world, going into the square, you're just going to feel that you're bending over, letting the weight of the head pull you into that direction. So it's just kind of wakening up your spine. And the other end, just once more. And up. And once more down. And up. Okay, feeling the Vitruvian woman in terms of the X. Let's combine the X with the stance of the square. We're just going to do a little bit of a swing like this. So the proportion of your circle, whoops, I better get it over here, is defined by the length of your own body. Gradually let it go up. So right now you're warming up the sphere, or the spiritual world of your world. Very good. And then, to complement warming up the circle or the sphere, let us go into the square. And now we're going to think about it as being a cube. And you have a diagonal corner up here. So it's all in proportion to your own body because you're a microcosm of the macrocosm and your proportions are in a certain perfection. So from here, you're going to take it through the heart space and reach down over to the opposite corner. And then let's come up again. And go through the heart space. So you're just being aware of that diagonal space within your body and within your motion all day. One more time. And it does go through the core of the body and up again. It's also a sort of a fighting, let's take the other diagonal. This is also a fighting mode, the idea of the diagonal. So there's a certain strength that happens with the movement when you're doing it on the diagonal. And I think that all these exercises are great for a woman to do in the morning, especially, whoops, lost that, when you get older, perhaps you're not that active, but at least you can do these exercises to warm up your brain and your body for the day. And let's just take the other diagonal, going through the heart space, and reach, and back up, and again through the heart space. This is a good exercise. Actually, all these exercises, you know, this is not a long video, but it's a wonderful way to refresh your body if you've been sitting in front of the computer, opposite way, or if you just need to wake up in the middle of the afternoon, or just at the beginning of the day. And this actually is the last exercise. One last time, down, and reach up. Okay, so for the Vitruvian woman, thank you very much for joining me, and I hope you have a great day. Farewell.